J to Ray J. Y'all remember Ray J? I hit it first. The same year in 2006, she dated Nick Lachey. The same year in 2006, she dated The Game. Then 2006 to 2007, she dated Nick Cannon. Follow with me. Wow. 2007, she dated Benji Madden.
Wow.
2007, she dated Marcus Houston. Wow. 2007, she dated Shane Moss, a.k.a. Bow Wow. Wow. 2007, she dated Evan Ross. 2007, she dated producer Scott Starks. 2007, she dated, from 2007 to 2010, she dated Reggie Bush. In 2009, she dated 50 Cent. In 2010, she dated Eklo Asterian. In 2010, she dated Christina Rolando. In 2010, she dated Shinigdo Dion. In 2010, she dated Miles Austin. That's a lot of product. In 2010, she dated Michael Coupon. In 2010, she dated Gabriel Austin. Then in 2011, she married Chris Humphries, in which she earned $17.9 million off of the wedding, only to be married for 72 days. Then ultimately, she ends up with Kanye West, moving product. She has no talent. She can't sing. She can't dance. She can't perform. But she moved her product to get to the top. And I'm looking at a whole bunch of people in here who's not willing to move their product. I'm not willing to settle for the status quo. I am a child of the King. I will refuse to move this product. If you don't know Jesus Christ, if you don't put something on this finger that represents a union under God, this product stays shut down. Ain't no moving this. It ain't no opening up no box of Cracker Jacks to see what you can get. I am a child of the because in your mind, you can't handle too much hurt. Because in your mind, if one more person plays me, if one more person plays me, you might find me on America's Most Wanted. You're not going to get the goods and roll out. You won't come out with a video talking about I hit it first. Products. We are single, but that doesn't always mean that I'm available to you.
That's right.
Jesus. He fearfully and wonderfully made me. That means I can't give away something that's of value. I'll give you something that doesn't mean anything, but it doesn't just mean something to me, but it means something to him. And it's in him that I move, that I have my being. It doesn't matter what they think. If you can't wait for me, then bye-bye. Because my God waited for me when I was so messed up, through all my sin, through all my mistakes. He waited for me. Therefore, if you can't wait for me, I got somebody that sits high and looks low and is willing to wait on me to get myself together. Products. God doesn't want you to move any products because your product belongs to him. You're saved, single, and excited about Jesus Christ. What does it do? What do you do when you're single? How do you remain excited about God when your singleness is trying to strip your happiness away? How do I continue to remain full in God when I keep going through life, sleeping alone, feeling alone? Because my mind is telling me that I'm alone. I can go to Bible study every day. I can talk to people every day. But when I go home and I'm by myself and his word is trying to teach me, but my physical nature is pushing the word away from me, how do I handle it? I found the answer in one of the strongest men in the world. He can be found in the book of Judges. The whole book of Judges reflect that of Samson's life, one of the judges. The theme of Samson's life in the book of Judges is that of sin and vile and ruinous instead of sin, which is vile and ruinous. But God is ultimately the one who always redeems his people.
Yeah.
Those who truly trust him. His name is Samson. Y'all know Samson.
Yeah.
You will always hear about Samson and Delilah, but it was a woman before who got it first. He's a Nazarite, which means that he's called apart. He's anointed, he's strong, but his morals are weak. He has many accomplishments physically, but he fails spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. I'm talking about Samson. He's a Nazarite, which means set apart. To live the Nazarite way, you have 3 instructions. Drink no wine, which signifies sobriety. No razor to your head, which signifies submission. And no caviar, which means don't touch nothing dead. He's separated. He's a Nazarite. And a lot of singles get snared away because we move past the basics in God. We allow foolish people to pour their foolish thinking in our minds, and which kills our sobriety. We allow the pain of our past relationships to cut into the mind like razors to hinder us from our future thinking, and we keep in touch with dead exes. It's dead. We ain't got nothing to talk about. So why do we keep talking? God says don't touch the dead. Once I killed it, that was it. If you keep going your way, then you enter into a realm where I'm not responsible. I'm always going to be there for you. But that doesn't give you the right to go back to the place that I delivered you from. Exes. He said, go back to the basics. Be sober in your thinking. Don't continue to talk about your singleness. And don't continue to dwell on the things that's going to be fixed. He said, leave the dead situations alone. Why do we keep rehearsing and rehashing the wound that he already healed? Keep in touch with him. In Judges 14, we see Samson. He travels to Timnah, a town in the land of Philistine, close to the northern borders of Judea. But when we visit Samson, he goes to a woman. The Bible says that he saw a woman. He didn't know her. He saw her. And the Bible says that it's love at first sight. And then he immediately goes from seeing her to going to tell his father, I want to marry her. She's his type. She has the body. She has the looks. She is his type. We have a preference, whether it be light, dark, whether it be swag, thug. We have a type. But oftentimes, our type is not God's type. And you have to seek God for your type. You want somebody that's grade A approval through the Lord. You want somebody like your father. Not your physical father, but your father that's going to protect you when you're down, that's going to build you up when you're hurt, that's going to see you through thick and thin. That's what you want. But we have a type. We think we have a type. But the type that we think we have really isn't our type. We chase what we don't want. We don't want anything to resemble what we just came out of. We don't want the person that hurt us. We don't want the person that even looked like the person. We chase what we don't want when God has better for us. Are y'all hearing me? We want somebody that's going to make us happy, and what we do is that we minimize that person to a physical form. That's why we never see God. Because if we saw God, then we will minimize God to the features of him. And when you minimize somebody to the features of what they display, then you limit them. But he's unlimited. He does the impossible. Y'all hearing me? We see things on television that we don't want. And so because we saw Love and Hip Hop, don't play with me now. I'm being real. The pastor being real. I'm being real. I asked the pastor, I asked the Lord when I came in, don't take me to a super holy church. I'm being real. We see what we don't want. We don't want to date a young jock who has 4 women, knocking all of them down, and 8 children. We don't want to date a Rashida. We don't want to date Stevie J, who's I ain't gonna say it.
Go ahead.
Who's outlandish with his product. We want to avoid that, but sometimes God can give us what we never thought we should date, and we probably passed our husband and our wives 1,000,000 times. But because we're so caught up into the type that we can't go where he wants to take us, we're so fickle in our thinking. Your type is that of God.
That's it. That's it.
Let me see if I can put it. One time, and I can share this with you, and if it leaves this room, I know all of your faces. My man over there. One time, I was on I left my buddy's bachelorette party, and I was at the corner of Liberty Road and Essex, at the stoplight, and I'm there, and the devil was saying, my buddy was pumping me up. He said, Richard, you know, you got a lot going on. He didn't know that I was really broke at the time. He didn't know I was really miserable. And the devil pokes holes in your singleness to see where you leak. And I'm there on Liberty Road in Essex. Everybody say Liberty Road in Essex.
Liberty Road in Essex.
And I'm at the light. And the devil said, you're this and that, but why are you single? In my mind, I started thinking about everybody that said I was this and that. And in your mind, you start to believe what they say. And sometimes people can pump you up to failure. They can pump you up to make you feel so good about yourself that when the devil really takes you on the top of that mountain and say, if you're really, then jump. God will save you. And we're defeated not when they come over the house, but the defeat comes when you pick up the phone and you call them. Y'all not talking back to me. I'm at the Liberty Road in Essex, and we always have that one person, that one point of contact who remembers how things, that one go-to person that you know you can always call when the spirit isn't willing and the flesh is high. And I wish I could stand here and tell you I won the battle. You know, a lot of preachers, they'll get up here and they'll tell you that they won the battle.
Better teach it. My God.
But hello? How you doing? I sent the text. Where you been? Well, you ain't called me in all these days. Why you called? I did text you. But I know I ain't text her.
Yeah.
But I did text you. I don't know, my phone must have been off. But
Right.
what you doing? What time you coming over? And came over. And I lost the battle. I lost the battle when I allowed the devil to make me rethink who I was in Jesus Christ. And you can't rethink who you are. If he walked the earth and died on a cross at Calvary, and he had the thorns on his head and had the spear, and then they stabbed, he did all that for your weaknesses and mine, for your temptations and mine. No good thing will he withhold from you. I need to teach a little bit if I was, and I'm going to be done in 10 minutes, but
Take your time.
I'm a preacher, but I'm more of a teacher because I don't ever want you to walk away not knowing something that bothers me. I want to change lives. So The first thing that men see, the first thing that men see in their attraction to women, the first thing is they don't worry about the intelligence. Please understand that. They're not worried about your intelligence. And so you can go ahead and flaunt and whisk this way and do all that. They're not worried about that. The first thing, the hierarchy of needs in men is, the first they look at your facial attractiveness. And it varies from culture to culture, but we're all black here, so I just want to keep it black. The first thing that they worry about is your facial attractiveness. Then it's your eyes. Then it's your hair. Then it's your legs. Then it's your chest. Then it's your dress, the way you dress. Then it's your skin. And the top 7, none of them have anything to do with your mind.
I'm learning.
For women, the first thing that they do is that women look at the stature, the confidence, the appearance, then the smile, then the humor, then the conversation. And what Samson does is he looks at her facial, her eyes, her hair, her legs, the Philistine woman. God said, don't be with them because those are your oppressors. And how many times God tried to speak to you and I? We know we wasn't supposed to date them. We know that we were not supposed to even give them our number. They don't have the same beliefs. But we want to go and cross the ark of safety. And God is saying, now is not the time for you to cross the ark of safety. If you put all your energies in me, I will help you to rediscover who you are. Everything that I need you to do is right here at your disposal. But if you seek me and seek my kingdom, then everything that's not like me will drift away from me. Everything that's not in my will for you will move outside of you. But as long as you are on the other side of the ark of safety, then you attract the very thing that's in you that I'm trying to get out of you.
My God. Yes.
God Almighty.
Yes. My God.
I'm about to finish up. 5 minutes. I got 5 minutes. I'm gonna close. I promise. It goes singleness. Carter G. Woodson said that all you have to do is get a person's mind, and their body will follow. And oftentimes, the most engaging and the most profitable business out of all the businesses, the business that has the highest growth in America is online dating. Online dating has become the biggest growth. Please don't go out there and create your own dating website. Please don't. Please don't. Online dating, it amasses 10% every year.
Wow.
Hands down. Match.com has 29 million members, and they charge $29.99 a month. eHarmony has 20 million members, and they charge $50 a month. Perfect Match has 4 million members, and they charge $59.99. Online dating is a $1.6 billion industry. All because people don't want to be alone. They're afraid to be alone. There's 3 points that I want to make here in dating successfully, being single. The first thing is that you have to have principles in your dating.
All right.
Principles are the things that define you and who you are. Principles are the things that the boundaries that you're not willing to go across.
Yes.
And so if you're going to close shop. That has to be the principle that you have. If you're not going to let them come to your house, don't let them come to your house. The principles that you have. If they can't call you past 10 o'clock, don't let them call you past 10 o'clock. The principle. These are the things. In order to be successfully single, that I'm going to devote my time and attention to the Lord. That everything that I have, all my loneliness, all my ill feelings about who I am, all my feelings of low self-esteem, all that has to be given to God. principles. These are the things that govern you. The second thing is that we have to do is that we have to cut unwanted conversations. It doesn't matter who they are. I cut my cousin off. I think it's been about 6 months. I think it's been about 6 months now, because all he kept telling me was about who he had.
My God.
The barbershop talk. I just came from the barbershop. They just had this talk. And I positioned, and it made me want to be on the corner of Liberty Heights
In Essex.
and Essex again. You got to remove the thing that's feeding your loneliness. You have to starve your loneliness and get caught up into Jesus Christ. What is his will for me to do? Are y'all hearing me? The thing, listen, the thing that's last and where Samson failed was, you have to be patient with the Lord. Samson saw her, and he immediately went from seeing her to wanting to marry her. And sometimes we move so fast only to get an STD, a spiritually transmitted demon. Yeah. It's not all about the sex. But sometimes just our conversation, just by you and being in close proximity, just by you hugging me, just by you touching me, is transferring the demon of everybody that you've been with. You're bringing it. I don't want to be broke no more. So you can't come to me with all of those broke demons that you done slept with. You can't bring it, because God is making me the head and not the tail. He's making me a victor and not a victim. I came from hell. I don't need you to take me back to the place. He's God. It's not all about the sex. Sometimes we just let people in our space that the devil sent to hurt us. Notice what Samson did, and I'm going to close with this. I didn't get to this, and Samson, he does something irrational. He's hurt, he's been down, and he goes and he attempts to marry her. Then he attempts to marry the woman that he saw. He left for a minute because he was mad because she tricked him. She tricked him. He got played way before Delilah. And sometimes we got these spirits in us that's been transferred, that we like getting played. Some people just like getting played. They like it. It's titillating to their mind. If they like it. And so he ultimately gets played. And his wife's father gave his wife to his best friend. And so this is where the rubber meets the road. He goes out because he's hurt. And he gets mad at the father, and he takes all of the 300 foxes and he lights their tails and make them run into the harvest, destroying the harvest. His one act hurt a whole bunch of people. And sometimes we can be so hurt that we transfer our hurt on our family, and that we transfer our hurt to our future.
That's right.
And you have to be whole before you jump in your deliverance. You have to allow God to heal your soul. Don't move past the mark of your wholeness, because all you're doing is transferring your wound and the blood from your wound to somebody else. All you're doing is, Arthur Ashe had a blood transfusion that killed him. And when you transfer your wounds and your pain to somebody else and not allow yourself to be whole, then you'll ultimately hurt yourself and hurt everybody connected to him. And then you'll find yourself being in a place like Samson, where God never intended you to be, because you wanted to deal with people that God never intended you to deal with. So now everybody stand, please. All of us are single. And all of us have been hurt. Is there anybody here who's never been hurt? All of us have been played. Is there anybody here who's never been played? Go ahead so I can call you out. Go ahead. And some of us are still carrying around that hurt. And some of us feel some type of way because we're single. And I want to pray that not only God would deliver you. I've probably been hurt 60,000 times. Maybe I might have been pushing 70. But I got hurt by somebody in my church. I said I would never date. One of my principles that I crossed the line with is that I would never date anybody in my church. And I don't mind sharing the story, because it's just us. I see all your faces. I know y'all. She kept pushing up on me. I sat in the front of the church. I'm minding my business. She was a principal of a high school. And she kept telling one of her teachers who went to the school, go up there and get his number. And I stayed strong. I said, man, tell her she don't want me. Tell her go. I lied to you. How many times, Lord? Probably like 4 times. He said no. The last time he said, she said she's going to fire me if I don't get your number. I know he was being facetious, but I gave her the number. And I prayed on it. I said, God, is she the one for me? This was 4 days into our conversing. Is she the one for me? God had an alternate basis. God says no. She's not. She is academically sound. She's a doctor. She's good on paper. Money, house, you know, everything. She was well equipped. And God said no. I met her on Western Poly parking lot, and I said, Book, I said, the Lord told me that we can't date. But y'all saying all right now until you hear it. So I said, we can't date. And she started crying. I hurried up and I jumped out the car, because sometimes the person's who's really emotional affects our emotion, and it hinders us from going to God, because God doesn't deal in emotions. He deals with our spirit, and your spirit is not emotional. And so what happened was, I'm hurt, I'm there, and I'm mad at God because she is the right one. I wanted somebody who had the looks, making 6 figures, big time, doctor, all that. I wanted that. He said no. And she asked me for my address the next day. She said, I want to give you a departing gift. She came over and emotionally, because she cried, I was connected to her emotions. The spiritually transferred. Damn. He said, she came over and she had a trench coat on. Came in the house, and it was how to get away with murder. Years and years, I'm talking months and months of trying to convince God, because now I'm in her, I'm involved. Months and months. God doesn't go back on his word. If he said it, that's what it is.
That's what it is.
And every time I went to I said, God, that's the devil speaking. That ain't you, because this is too good to be true. I'm hurt. She's hurting me. She's hurting me. She's hurting me. But I stuck in there hoping that I would see a light somewhere. I let her meet Mom. And Mom added to the few. And sometimes people can love us so much and want the best for us so much that they hurt us in the process.
Jesus. My God.
Mom said, no, don't get rid of her. Made me feel like I couldn't do any better. Made me feel like I'm not worthy of somebody better. And I'm saying all this to you because I failed so many times in my singleness. The ultimate end up being I lost all my hair because I was so stressed. I was so hurt. And then I'm over her house and only to find out that she was giving it away to my buddy.
Whoa. Oh, my goodness.
Crushed me.
My God.
Are y'all hearing me? And I'm being transparent. I don't tell this story often, but I'm being transparent because I'm saying to you, I don't want you to go through the pain. I'm up all night. And the pain was so severe. I'm on 695, and I get 2 tickets in less than 5 minutes by the same police officer. Because I'm so hurt that I'm speeding, and in my mind, listen to me, this is critical. I never shared this with somebody else, but the Lord is telling me. In my mind, I'm so hurt that I'm driving down 695, and I'm worrying about how can I go off of this road. Listen, and I don't want to survive.
Jesus.
Because if I survive and be paralyzed, she's still going to be with somebody else. Is that severe?
Jesus.
Love will hurt you.
My God.
I'm saying all that to say to you. It took me to fast. I was broken.
My God.
And now I look back, just like you look back, and I think to myself, what was I thinking about? And that may be you right here. You're trying to heal from all of that pain. You're trying to get past the thing that God wants you to get past. But you can't get past it. Keep thinking about it. Keep talking about it. Kill it now. Stop talking about it. What has happened has happened. We leave it in the past because me and my God have bigger and better things. I'm saying to you, raise your hands. Repeat after me. God,